The Texans got back to work with OTAs.
Back to work, huh?
Plenty to get to. Let's start it off with Tank Dell and what he means to the Houston Texans. Dell back on the field for the Texans this week at OTAs, and that's a great sign after what he dealt with this offseason. Scary situation. D'Amico Ryans explained how good it was to have Tank Dell back on the field.
Happy for Tank to get back out there. We know went through a very tragic situation, right? We're just happy that he's here, happy that he's back out, being able to do what he loves doing, that's playing football. So it's fun to see him running around, right? Being the same player he's been before, just making plays, right? Being a dynamic player for us. So everyone is excited to see Tank back out.
Excited to see Tank Dell back out there. Excited to see Tank Dell out there taking care of business, doing what Tank Dell does. I mean, looking at the OTAs plus the workout video that we showed you last week here on the YouTube page that Dell posted to his Instagram, there's a chance Tank Dell's better than he was last year. And that's a scary proposition for opposing teams. If Dell is a better player than he was a year ago, I don't know how opposing defenses are going to stop the Houston Texans. They might slow them down for a tiny little bit there, but they're not stopping the Houston Texans if Dell is a better player. And you got to think about this. There was a lot of ramp up for Tank Dell, getting used to the offense, figuring out his role in it. He played inside, played outside. Now that he's got a year under his belt, he's deeper into this thing. They're streamlining the offense. Dalton Schultz talked about that so that things operate quicker, faster. They're able to get play calls in. Dell is going to be one of the big keys to this team. I know Stephon Diggs was a huge offseason addition. Nico Collins was fantastic, one of the better wide receivers in all of football last year, but Tank Dell's got big time potential. He showcased it through the games last year before he got hurt in that Denver matchup, and there's something special about Tank Dell. Fantastic to see him back on the field this week after that scary offseason situation from a few weeks ago. The summer can be scary if your air conditioner is not working the way it needs to. Platinum AC and Heating will make sure that it's working the way it needs to be working. My guy Dwyane is a Texans fan just like you, and he has the best service and the best prices in town. From repairs to replacements to tuning that AC up so that it is ready to go throughout these hot summer months, you do not want to miss out on Platinum AC and Heating taking care of you when it comes to your air conditioner. Put Dwayne's number in your phone, 832-777-3683. When you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy, and that's Dwayne at Platinum AC and Heating. From Tank Dell to Kenyon Green, a disappointing start to Kenyon Green's NFL career, but it's getting a little bit better. He showed up looking a lot better than he has up to this point. The important part of Green showing up looking good, looking like he's transformed his body is, one, he needed to do that. Two, it shows that he's healthy, and he's healthy enough to do that. Look, he lost all of last season to injury. When he played as a rookie, it didn't look good. There's a lot that Kenyon Green has to work on. There's a lot that Kenyon Green has to prove to get that left guard spot locked up like he was supposed to when he was drafted. But if he can do it, this Texans offensive line is going to start the five guys that they wanted to start a year ago, with Tunsil at left tackle, Titus Howard at right tackle, Kenyon Green at left guard, Shaq Mason at right guard, and then Juice Scruggs at center. And that should be a really formidable offensive line. And if they could be one of the 10 best offensive lines in football, the Texans are going to be in primo shape when it comes to protecting C.J. Stroud, running the football much better than they did last year. And that's a must for this offense and this team this year. That offensive line, if they could just get going a little bit more than they have in the past few years, Kenyon Green could be a piece of that if he has indeed taken that step forward from disappointing player to potential contributor. D'Amico Ryans weighing in on his big offensive lineman's successful offseason up to this point.
Kenyon has done a really great job of putting himself in position, right, to compete. He did a great job of working throughout the offseason. You know, he had the surgery last year, so he was battling back to rehabbing. But when the beginning of the year hit, he was just able to focus on himself, focus on his body, getting in shape, getting stronger. And it's really good to see him back being able to, play at full health. I think that's what's Kenyon's biggest thing. Once he gets over that hurdle, now we can see how good of a football player Kenyon can actually be when he's not battling and dealing with injuries. So I'm excited for what's ahead for Kenyon because he's really put in the work to give himself a really good chance this year.
That's what DeMeco Ryans talked about Tuesday after OTAs about Kenyon Green. But the point that stood out is if he's past all the injuries, if that's not something that Kenyon Green has to worry about, can he showcase that talent that was supposed to be a day one talent for this team? And that's, to me, the biggest element. Look, he looks to be in incredible shape. It looks like the belly's smaller. The jersey actually hangs loose on him after being – looked like he was vacuum sealed into that thing in previous years. He's done a great job. He's got to go out there and play left guard really well in training camp, preseason games, and get that ball rolling on what is a make or break season for a Kenyon Green. Another 2022 disappointing draft pick by the Texans was Jalen Pitre. Well, it wasn't disappointing at the time. Pitre was fantastic his rookie year, and there were high expectations for Pitre going into last year. Pitre just didn't get it done. It didn't click for him. He was bad. There were moments where he had a moment where he looked good, but oftentimes we saw Steven Nelson gesturing at him that perhaps Jalen Pitre was the reason that Nelson had given up a big play. He got benched late in the year, Pitre did, and bounced back from that and basically had to play because of the injury situation at the safety spot. It just hasn't been as good in year two as it was in year one. And some of year one was just freelancing and figuring it out on a bad team. Well, the Texans were a better team, and they didn't get what they needed out of Jalen Pitre last year. Pitre knows this, so what had he been working on in his game to improve for this upcoming season? I call it woosah. Jalen Pitre.
Calmness, I think that's the next step for me, just being calm and understanding what the coaches want from me. And, after that, just making plays on the ball. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to. And, just more wins from the Texans. That's the biggest goal.
Is it more like control aggression?
Yeah, it's definitely control aggression. You can go off the rails a little bit sometimes, being eager to make plays and stuff like that. But, I'm just trying to be calm, cool, and collective out there and just be able to do my job and then, make plays when my number is called.
It was the anger management. Woosah. Be calm out there, Jalen Pitre. Don't overthink it. Don't try to do too much. Don't freelance. Just do what the defense needs you to do, and you should be successful in this Texans defense. That pass rush, that front seven, they're going to make the DBs right quite a bit over the course of this season. If a healthy Jimmy Ward is there and they've got a healthy Eric Murray and Kalen Bullock comes along well as a rookie, man, you could have something really nice in that safety room if Pitre can recapture some of that success from his rookie year and put it together here in his third season with the Houston Texans. Season 2, not where he wanted it to be. Season 3 certainly could be one of those that takes it back closer to that rookie level and hopefully can build on it, take it to that next level. Man, if they get good safety play on top of that pass rush that should be absolutely nasty, that front seven led by Azeez Al-Shire there with the green dot on the helmet calling the plays, and Derek Stingley at one cornerback spot. And look, the safeties are going to be important taking care of that other cornerback, be it Jeff Okudah or CJ Henderson or the rookie Kamari Lassiter. The safeties are going to need to help those guys. Petre's going to be one of those guys tasked with it. Plus, if guys are healthy at the safety spot, DeMeco Ryans can play chess with his safeties. He can mix and he can match, and he can figure out exactly who and what he wants on the field at any given time. I mentioned Kamari Lassiter. He's a rookie. We had some of the veterans weigh in on the rookies this week, and I felt like they were fun conversations to bring to you. First, we just heard from Jalen Pitre. Let's hear from him again. Hey, what were your impressions so far of rookie safety from USC, Kalen Bullock?
Oh, man, he's a dog. Like, when I first seen him, I'm like, bro, it's tall. And then, no, for real. He like, for real. I'm like, bro, it's tall. Like, taller. Like, he looked like a receiver. But just being in a room with him, you could tell how locked in he is. Like, he's answering the questions sometimes before the veterans. So, it's good to see a guy that come in and, be confident in himself and get to work because, he definitely can help this team.
Kalen Bullock is going to be used this year and going to be an important part of what the Texans do from a depth standpoint. I remember D'Amico Ryans talking this past offseason. They did not have the depth they wanted towards the back end of the year. And Bullock may not be called upon to start much here in 2024 if everybody is healthy at the safety spot. Well, if somebody's not healthy, then boom, you slide him in. But he may be a specific role player that's implemented at certain times and just be a depth piece if Jimmy Ward and Jalen Pitre and Eric Murray, the veterans, can stay healthy. But Petry's right. Bullock is tall. He's thin, but he's tall. He's quick. He showcased some agility in rookie minicamp that I was pretty excited to see. I'm ready to see a little bit more from Kalen Bullock. I don't know how much we'll see in the further OTAs or mandatory minicamp, but training camp, he is definitely going to be one to watch. He was the 3rd round pick. What about the 4th round pick earlier this week? Dalton Schultz. Well, he's pumped to be working with the 4th rounder from Ohio State, Cade Stover.
I like him. He's a hardworking kid. He's very, eager to learn. I usually get to the meetings pretty early, but he beat me a couple times. But yeah, he's a good kid. I think he made some catches out there today that were nice. I'm excited to have kind of a young guy that's super, excited to just learn football, because he told me that. He's like, listen, I'm early playing this position. He told me, he's like, I'm literally just learning from you.
Good one to learn from. Schultz has been a very productive player in his NFL career. He's obviously back on the Texans in a spot that should be productive, and Stover can learn a lot from him as he's still new to the tight end position. Among the things that I like about Cade Stover is the production at tight end, the success he's had when it is a newer position, when he hasn't played a lot of football at tight end. That's one of the things that gets me excited about what Stover brings to the table from that standpoint. He is a potential steal for the Texans. I know 4th round picks kind of when that steal starts to pop up, that label can start to pop up. They moved up to get him. They really wanted him. The mentality, the between the ears, it's there. The football is going to come along here. They don't need him day one because they've got Dalton Schultz, but a year from now, that could be a dangerous tight end duo. And then when Schultz moves on, well, then you've got Cade Stover, who learned from Dalton Schultz right there. We'll find out more about some of the rookies as OTAs moves on, and obviously when training camp gets here in July. But it was nice to hear Pitre weigh in on his fellow safety Bullock and have Dalton Schultz weigh in on his fellow tight end Cade Stover. I don't know if any of those guys will be Hall of Famers, but what I do know is Andre Johnson is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and Andre got to head out to Canton, Ohio this week and see some of the sights and sounds around the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and the Texans were kind enough to share a bunch of those photos. Andre hanging out in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's got the Pro Football Hall of Fame polo on. Man, I'd wear 20, 30 of those over the course of a month if I was a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And man, Andre just looks so regal. Like he belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Look at this. Here is Andre and some of his fellow future Hall of Famers. I guess you're officially inducted when the ceremony gets here. Dwight Freeney and Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, with some really good defensive players, and obviously Andre Johnson bringing to the table what he did at the wide receiver spot. Andre in front of the big poster. That's a very cool poster. I hope they sell those at Hall of Fame weekend. That'd be a cool keepsake to have that crew all together. There's Andre unveiling one of the displays. He is Hall of Famer number 375. Okay, Devin Hester's 374, Andre Johnson 375. I don't know if that's super relevant to everybody, but Andre in front of his jerseys, it's really cool. This was a very cool shot. The Texans did a great job showcasing this one. This is, I mean, if you're Andre Johnson or you're a family member, you're a huge Andre Johnson fan, this is one of those that you could frame, put in a poster, throw up on the wall with ease. And then, of course, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hey, there's Andre Johnson there on the marquee. Andre, of course, going into the Hall of Fame, the Texans playing in the Hall of Fame game. That will be one heck of a football weekend, starting with the Texans and Bears and the Hall of Fame game, finishing up with the Hall of Fame inductions. It can't get here soon enough, because when that gets here, football is right around the corner. Until then, we got plenty for you here on the channel, so don't miss out on it. What'd you think of the rundown here today? Let me know in the comment section down below, wherever the comment section is with YouTube's changes. What'd you think of the rundown? Tank Dell back. You buying in on Kenyon Green bouncing back? What about his fellow draft pick from that draft class, Jalen Pitre? They bouncing back. Sure would be cool to have those players who were disappointing last year turn into productive players in 2024. You know what else will be cool? Your house when you call Platinum AC and Heating. My guy Dwyane will take care of you. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau, which is not easy to say. 5-star rated by the Better Business Bureau. 5-star rated on Google and Yelp and so many other places. The service and prices are unmatched. And while Dwyane's out there working on the AC, getting your house cooled off, getting you ready, you can talk Texans with him. He's a Texans fan just like you. Call Dwyane today, because when you need an AC guy, you need the AC guy. Call him today, 832-777-3683, or just stick it in your phone. Stick it in your phone for that emergency when all of a sudden you listen, oh my God, did the AC just cut off? I didn't turn it off. It's not supposed to cut off. What's wrong with it? Dwyane will tell you. Platinum AC and Heating will take care of you. We appreciate them sponsoring this video. I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you. That was fantastic. Hope you enjoyed it. The Saturday rundown, a thing we're trying here. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments section. If you do like it, let me know in the comments section. Throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So much more coming your way before actual football is to be played. No, by the way, gave you the rundown. Talked about OTAs this week. OTAs coming your way again this week as well. So you don't want to miss that. You'll be subscribed, right? So you won't miss it. Okay, I need to end this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.